So next, I will be talking about how to make an ER diagram, how to compose it, and the elements that are important to an ER diagram. So first thing first, what is an ER diagram? So an ER diagram is basically the visual representation of a database. It shows the entities, the attributes, and the relationships used within the information, and it kind of used in designing secure systems. An ER diagram, or which ER stands for entity relationship diagram, is simple, but it's a very important and powerful way to model a database. Helps organize components clearly, which is critical in database and designs dealing with information that is highly compromised or um, very private. Um, the core components of an ER diagram are entities. One of them are entities, and this is for the columns, which basically represent system objects. An example can be user device. For attributes, the attributes basically kind of describes entities in a sense. IP addresses is like kind of an example. Relationships shows how the entities interact. Primary keys primary key is basically unique identifiers. Foreign keys is linked in between tables usually. So entities are the main object, attributes describe them. Primary and foreign keys link the and they identify the data. Um, a real world example of where you need to use this that shows the ER diagram is basically maybe if a user logs into a device, that's a many to many relationship. To represent it, sometimes you use a login entity that kind of intertwines and connects the two. Um, each table always has its own attributes and keys. Always. Uh, so you have one to one, which is kind of one user to one role. You have one to n, which is one user to many, and you have many to none, which is basically many users to many devices, and goes on from there. You can use different tools to kind of create a ER diagram if you are unfamiliar with how to that'll help you. Things like Lucid Chart. I used Draw.io before. MySQL Workbench I've heard of that's very helpful, and DB Designer. Um, so kind of a little recap. The steps in of course creating an ER diagram. You have to first always identify your entities, define the attributes and keys, set up relationships, and then use tools to visualize and organize the ER diagram. Once you master that, you can model any system clearly and really securely using that method.